My mic is muted. So it is 11:45. Hold on, I gotta deal with my phone volume again. My phone is being obnoxious. So it is 11:46 now. It's another Laura Can't Sleep night. So since technically it is still Tuesday, figured I'd work a little bit more on my diamond painting before I put it away in preparation for making a journal tomorrow, or starting a journal tomorrow. I don't know who else is going to join in chat tonight, or sis, I don't know if you want to join on panel again, just let me know. But I'm just hanging out over here in my own lane, minding my own business. Oh, gotcha. No biggie. You can just chat with me. Keep me company. Unless you want to just come up on panel as a voice. You would definitely have to move to the craft room or whatever. If not, I mean, you're welcome to stay in the chat. That requires moving. I know. I made the mistake of staying in the living room on the couch while your dad put on a movie and fell asleep for, the hour and a half or whatever it was that it was on the TV. And so guess who's now wide freaking awake? Well, little miss, it sounded like she is feeling better when I heard her this afternoon. And to be honest, sis, I mean, if you're not even really up to being in chat tonight, that's okay too. I mean, I know you support me regardless. There's never been a question about that. Yeah. Well, and that, lends itself again to that PNG or PND. When you lay down, things try to drain into places that don't have a drain. whichever. So when do you think you'll be making your way this way to spend a little bit more than just a day? You know, I never did go back and look to see if my video finished uploading of my craft room. Go in and look. Go in and look a little later. Oh, it did finally upload it. Takes forever doing it that way. Because I sent it, I started uploading it during my appointment this morning. So at like around 11, a little after 11 maybe. And I know that when I took M to ballet, it still was not uploaded, and that was at 5. It's crazy how long it takes to upload videos sometimes. So annoyed because I was so excited. Stupid getting the adapter to be able to plug my microphone in. Get back from dropping Miss M off at ballet. Open up the package, and they're the wrong bloody ones. So here I am, still stuck with my crackly laptop microphone. Dad went into town because, this morning he said, when I reminded him that I was, driving M to ballet, he's like, well, that's okay because I have to stop and get dog food and milk on the way home anyway. And I'm like, all right, so, just get yourself dinner while you're out and I'll get myself dinner while I'm out. Well, I got home a little earlier than expected, so I messaged him and said, hey, can you grab the wings on your way in? And if you're still at the store, can you pick up a cube of Pepsi for me? He walked in the door like 2 minutes later. And my text reminded him that he was supposed to stop for dog food and milk on the way home. So after dinner, he ran into town to go get milk and dog food. And I said, hey, where? And he said he was going to Target. So I said, while you're there, can you see if you can find one of these adapters for me? You would think that they would have those, right? Like over in the electronics section. But no, we would be thinking wrong. So got on the interwebs, went to like Best Buy and Circuit City and those, their websites to see if they carry them in stock. Would you think they would carry them in stock? I would have thought so. But no. Wrong again. So now I have to send the incorrect ones back to Amazon and order the correct ones. Because apparently my way of thinking on how to look up that kind of a thing was incorrect. So my receiver has the male end, and so I figured I needed the male to female to male so that I can plug it into my laptop. So that was what I ordered, according to the description that Amazon had written. Well, they come in the male, the plug-in, the female end is only 1/4 inch, and the male end is, the female end is an 1/8 inch, and the male end is 1/4 inch. Well, I can't plug a 1/4 inch male into an 1/8 inch female adapter. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm just, it's just that backwards thinking, I guess. It's so bloody annoying. And now the ones on Amazon says they won't ship here until the 2nd of October. It's annoying as hell because you would think that would be something that our local stereo stores would carry. Or even like, I didn't think about calling like Ted Brown's or something. Since they do amplifiers and all of that. I might make that call tomorrow before I put in a new order. I don't even know if Ted Brown is still around. Now that I think about it, with you guys not not in the school system here and doing band and stuff. I don't hear about those kinds of things anymore. And clearly, I was backwards in thinking, as I was ordering, but am I backwards in thinking that that's something that should be carried, that I should have expected that to be carried at like Best Buy and Circuit City and stuff? Yeah, that was what I thought. I mean, they have a whole damn electronics section, so what the hell? Oh, well. Almost feeling like there's this, divine intervention telling me that there's a reason for it, because as nasally as I am right now, I'd sound like crap on a microphone anyway. Oh, I gotta put a new bag in my garbage can. Yeah. See, and I didn't even think about it from the gamer standpoint. But then again, when you buy headphones and stuff as part of a gaming system, they usually already have the correct receiver end to plug straight into a system. So there's no need for an adapter. Might be good to see if we have like a DJ store or something or anything like that here in town too. I've never looked for anything like that, so I don't know if we have it. You know, place that sells karaoke machines and that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'll do some calling around tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna call before I take myself back into town, because as it is, the 2 trips into town today are I'm paying for it tonight. I definitely don't want to drive into town tomorrow if it's a going to be a fruitless adventure. Not to mention a huge waste of gas. What do you mean? It depends on what I get and where I get it. I've got this weird, like, I don't know how to describe it, this weird sound in my ears. If it was a light, I would call it flashing. But it's not real. It's not really a pulse either. So, I'm like, Oh, gotcha. Now I see what you were meaning. Well, Miss Chantel is a gamer. Um, but I think she's in Canada. Yes, she's in Canada. So I don't know that it would do much good for her to be like, so check here, because I'm not in Canada, and we might most likely don't have the same kinds of stores. But I do believe that Chantel is probably otherwise engaged at the moment. It sucks because, I mean, we have this huge tote here of just random electronic mumbo jumbo cords and chargers and you know this and that, and the one thing I need is not what we have. It's very annoying. It's definitely weird to be thinking about, that I don't have to watch a clock and worry about, midstream being cut because I've run out of airtime. That sucks. One of the people that I just started following in the other community, maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. Um, her main channel is currently, quote unquote, on hold or suspended, depending on who you ask or who you talk to. Um, because of a personal fallout between her and another content creator who used to be her friend, who, out of spite and vengeance, the other person Um, sorry, got distracted. Um, oh, out of vengeance, did did a strike did while she did back to back strikes 1, 2, 3 against this person that was supposed to be her friend. Um, and then not only did she do that, but she incited a mass strike among her followers, which is a major TOS violation for sure. Um, but it said that I guess YouTube is supposed to make their decision on the 29th as to whether or not they're going to close your channel down. And I'm like, it's so stupid. If the creator is problematic and they're doing stuff that really shouldn't be happening on a public platform, I get doing strikes. But to do it just to be an ass and to get back at somebody and to try to take their channel down so they're not competition, I'm like, God, I swear, it's like, I don't know that there's I haven't found a place on YouTube yet that's not like a freaking middle school playground. I think this current one over here might be more like elementary. I think we've downgraded from middle school down into elementary school. Graduated down. I guess you don't graduate down, but you know what I mean. Descending into the dark recesses where there really is no comeback. And I know you were saying too, sis, that it happens a lot over in the gamer community. Just a lot, people being jerks to each other and using TOS as, personal vendettas. Or am I remembering that incorrectly? False accusations. That's kind of what's going on over there too, from, you know, what I've followed, because I don't listen to just one side of the story before I make a decision on where I stand on something. So I listen to her side of it. I listened to her followers side of it, and then I went to the haters side and listened to what they were saying. And I'm like, I don't even understand how YouTube considered that a legitimate strike. Because the one thing I have come to realize is that no matter what the community is on YouTube, everybody agrees that children are off limits, or they're supposed to be off limits. Well, this one creator had said something really, really snotty, and the creator that I follow clapped back with, something to the effect of, someday in the future, her children will hear what their mom said. And at that time, she didn't even know this other creator actually had children. But this other creator filed a privacy strike against her, claiming that she doxed her children. And YouTube was like, all right, yep. I'm like, wait a minute. How? Huh? I have seen so much worse done. And YouTube not even bat a bloody eye. And all she said was, her children are going to see what she said at some point in the future. Her children are going to see what she said on a public platform. And I'm like, and she got 3 back-to-back community strikes for that. Two gamers in less than a month. Yeah. It definitely seems like there is this, huge strife, for lack of a better word, across YouTube. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't seem to matter what community it's in. And I joked that day about, are we the great social experiment that YouTube is putting on? But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, holy crap, maybe we are. Did YouTube, like, literally, did they go in and put plants into these different communities to go start trouble just to see what would happen and get YouTube's stocks up? You know what I mean? It's like, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. If somebody's doing stuff that, without question, should not belong on a public platform, whether, doing those acts specifically, or, has been convicted of it, but is using his platform for nefarious purposes, or even, subliminally nefarious purposes, to allow that to happen. But then turn around and take down another channel simply for saying, basically saying that, your children are going to be embarrassed in the future when they see what you put on social media. It's like, huh. And then I jump back into this one. Well, I'm not anymore. I'm staying away from there. But but just all the reprehensible stuff that's gone down in the last 6 months, and YouTube has done not a damn thing about it. It just boggles my mind. But then again, it takes me back to what I was saying, about it. Like, different communities seem to have different rules on what TOS to follow and which ones not, and that kind of stuff. So maybe that's part of the problem is, or what the difference is that one community, they don't have a problem using the report button, whereas in the other one they do. I don't know. There's been accusations like that one thrown around over here too that YouTube has done nothing about. Not that, like you're saying, that one was known. There's been slanderous statements of that nature said by several creators over here on this side that YouTube has done nothing about. Yeah, the views and exposure. That's why, because the more drama they allow, the higher their stock value goes. So they become rich while while their patrons' lives, fall apart and are torn to shit over the drama. Well, I don't blame that on YouTube, because at the end of the day, it's each person's responsibility to step away from YouTube if they can't handle what's going on. But I don't see the point in having TOS if they're not going to be enforced. Know what I mean? Jelly bean. Why allow it in one community but not in another? Well, and I never did explain to you, and this is my platform, so I'm going to do it here. And if people don't like it, then I don't care. They can go somewhere else. The comment you made about the chaos coordinator the other day, there was a Reddit account that went by chaos coordinator, but with K's instead of C's. And that particular account was playing a large role in a lot of Jen's stuff being published on Reddit. And was in, I don't know, there was some connection with other creators, and it was just a whole freaking mess. And then as things evolved, the whole chaos coordinator thing became a bigger a bigger piece in the drama. And a lot of things were read into things that weren't valid and were blown out of proportion. And then other things were purposely done in order to cause that drama. So that's why everybody was like, no, 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 no. Because, yeah, still trying to keep the peace as much as possible, especially since all of my subscribers right now come from that community, and they are from for lack of a better word, rival channels, which kind of sucks because I've gotten lots of messages today from people messaging me in private to let me know how much they appreciate what I'm doing here and having a platform. But, it seems like people are afraid to say it outright because, they might get in trouble with the primary people they follow. I think that's a bunch of crap. But whatever. The term chaos coordinator existed long before it existed on Reddit. And it was taken on several levels of ownership. I guess I don't know how to put that. Like I said, on one side it was meant to cause drama, and then on the other side more things were read into it than necessary, and so it created a tornado of drama just around those two words. But moms are chaos coordinators. 4-H leaders are chaos coordinators. Scout leaders. School teachers. That's what you do. You organize, you coordinate the chaos. So, but that's the story behind that. And like I said before, I'm not going to censor people in here unless they're coming in just being absolute dicks. And I'm not sure how much that's going to even matter in the future. So, because if there's not a relationship for a certain person to come in here, then there's no reason for the haters to come in here to be dicks. And who knows, then maybe my channel can go back to being what I had originally hoped. And that, chuck it in the bucket. Yep, absolutely. That's why I didn't have mods for a long time, is because I was really hoping that, having a channel that didn't bring all that drama in, that people would respect what I was doing enough that, they wouldn't bring it here. But people showed their asses on that. showed my ass a little bit on that. But I don't know. Like I said, that might change if I don't have that person coming into my chat. So it's kind of like I said, I spent a lot of time in the last couple weeks checking out other communities, and I'm coming across a lot that really need to find the chuck it, need to chuck it in the fuck it bucket and start over, because there's, it's so much hatred that is now flowing through the community. I think of it like that scene in the Ghostbusters movie where there's that slime that was going underneath the city down in the sewer system, and it fed on anger and hate. And so the more, because it was in New York City, it just kept growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's kind of how I feel about a lot of the communities that I've come across on YouTube, is that there's just this underlying succubus ooze that's running under it, that's just feeding and thriving off of all the anger and animosity that's floating around. Hopefully, I'm not the only one that gets that reference. Because, I mean, I can't be the only person that knows that scene from Ghostbusters. Yeah, I agree. See, I forgot. Since there's nobody else in here, and it takes a while for comments for the live chat to appear after a video is published. I'm talking and nobody knows what I'm responding to on the replay. But yeah, I agree. And Muzz, she came in when I was doing my stream on the ADHD. She talks about that a lot, about, it's not like you're going to your bus stop down the road and just having a conversation with, a couple people that might hear your story or hear your point of view. When you're on a public platform, you have to stop and realize the impact you are having, because you are reaching a much larger public. And with that should come a level of accountability for personal actions and behaviors. And I get that, she's on one side of this whole beef, and other people that are subscribed to my channel are on the other side of this whole YouTube beef. But that really makes sense to me, because yeah, I mean, if I pick up my phone and I call you, that conversation stays between you and I. Nobody else hears my opinion. Nobody else hears my story. But when I share it here, and that's a lot of the feedback that I've been getting is on the, my anxiety stream, where, and that I was able to sort of be okay having a breakdown on a live stream, because it's showing that humanity, and, that it's okay to not feel okay sometimes. And if you're operating a channel, and I agree with Muzz, if you're operating a channel, the message that you are sending out to the general public should always be at the forefront of your mind. Because you never know. You never know who's listening. And what you're saying has the potential to either really help somebody or really harm somebody. And I guess it would be a little different as far as like the gaming community, because I don't know how much you guys actually do like non-game talking. You know what I mean? Like on personal levels, personal storytelling and that kind of stuff. So it may be a little different in the gaming community. And I would imagine, I don't know, I would imagine it'd be a little different even in like, well, not even necessarily, I would say in the beauty community, but not necessarily, because again, it's up to you as the content creator what message you're going to put out there about societal norms of beauty. You know, are you going to use your platform to break people down and tell them that unless they're wearing 10 pounds of makeup, they're not beautiful? Or are you going to use your platform to tell women that they're beautiful just the way they are? And if they choose to wear makeup, that's on that, that's their choice, but it doesn't make them less beautiful if they choose not to. Some do, some don't. Yeah, I'm not a gamer, obviously, so I don't know that community at all. And I can't really see where I could like stick my foot in the door and find any level of where I would belong there. Yeah, I've gotten some second and third hand knowledge. The beauty community is not anywhere that I would ever go anyway, because that's not my jam. I don't use hair products. I don't wear makeup. I'm not into fashion. So that's not not in my interest level, my interest warehouse. But you go around into enough communities and you see how they intertwine and how the subs intertwine, and they're in different communities. So yeah, you hear those conversations about other communities. In fact, there's somebody running around my current community that apparently was from not only the beauty community but also from the food community. That is now where they're now over with us, or with them. I changed my verbiage since I'm not there anymore. Over with them for the sole purpose of causing drama for certain creators, and taking advantage of vulnerable people, mentally vulnerable people, and getting them into negative headspaces, and then just sitting back and watching the fallout. Oh, it's like my old boss is here. She would never be in the beauty community or the food community either. I doubt she would ever even be on social media. My boss, not my supervisor. Ew, whew, bad thought. Can you imagine the community, the YouTube communities that my supervisor belonged to? Knowing what knowing what you know? Those are definitely communities I'll stay out of as well. Not my jam. Oh, I just looked up at my TV and realized that it changed what I was watching. Wonder what movie's coming on. I'll have to figure out if they still fall under, well, some of the older ones, if they still fall under copyright, because it'd be kind of fun to stream some of these like really old, like, 40s movies. Just kind of talk about the difference in like cinematic techniques and stuff. Comparing them to how it would be filmed today if it was to be remade. I think that'd be kind of fun. But I know with books, copyright is, I guess I can't even say no because now I'm guessing or second guessing myself. I think in books, copyright is like 90 years. If I remember right. Remember we had this whole discussion in one of my journal groups about being able to use the Edith Holden books in our journals and use the images and stuff because whether or not it still fell under copyright. Um, See, I'm still second guessing myself because now I'm thinking it might be 70 years. Anyway, I guess that's irrelevant because it probably is different for movies anyway. Um, and I don't know what the copyright standard is for movies. What the hell is playing? Dwight D. Eisenhower and Black. Oh no, Roosevelt. Sorry, Teddy Roosevelt and Black. Oops, I didn't mean to end it. No, we're just BSing. Unless you happen to know how old a movie has to be before it becomes copyright free. I did not mean to end. I hit the wrong button. What was coming on? Well, none of these movies look like what was coming on. But it was like an old movie reel of Roosevelt in like black and white. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty damn old movie, whatever it was. Dawn of the Dead from 78. Terror at London Bridge was 1985, and that was an absolutely, oh my God. I did not realize until I watched that movie how horrible of an actor David Hasselhoff was. That was bad. Um, the Old Dark House was kind of cool.
I just watched Death Race 2000 last night. Damnation Alley premieres tomorrow. Oh, I guess I can tell you. 95 for movies. Well, yeah, that was what we were saying, that with books, we were having that conversation in my journaling group about one of the books that everybody likes to use, but I couldn't remember what the years were before it went into public domain. 95 years. That's a long. That's a damn old movie. I don't think even I would enjoy watching a movie that old. Um, but Anthony, I was telling your sister about this. You know, growing up, one of the every Friday and Saturday night was the nights that we were allowed to have popcorn growing up, um, because it was creature feature night, and so we would watch creature features. My dad would make popcorn, and we get to stay up all night with him. Um, you know, one of the fondest memories I have with my dad. But I don't know, about a week or two ago, I discovered that um, there's a Creature Features YouTube channel. And I was like, whoa. And they're actually, what is that? Sponsored by the Winchester Mystery House out of San Jose. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I'm wondering, though, if Creature Features, was that always like a Bay Area, thing? Was that a Cali thing? I don't know, because a lot of people that I've talked to have never heard of it. Yeah, I'm having fun watching some of these old movies. And I don't have too many memories of my childhood, but there's a few. Popping popcorn in our big old metal, looked like one of those coffee urns, but it was a popcorn machine. Making popcorn with bacon grease. Put Parmesan cheese on it. Mm-hmm. See, and back when I was a kid, the Creature Features was, I mean, it was like stupid sci-fi, like monster movies. um, Updating programs on the laptop. Yeah, Mystery Science Theater was stupid. Oh, stupid. Um, but yeah, well, Creature Features, when I was growing up, it was like old black and white creature, like, Creature from the Black Lagoon, but in like the original format, black and white, where it's on a reel strip and going as it's playing. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool. And it was totally random. I was just sitting in here cross stitching and flipping through YouTube, trying to find something to watch. Um, and I hit the home live, see if anything was going on live at the moment. Because again, I'm trying to find other communities, so best way to do that is to find one that's open and pop in and see what they're about. Um, and while I was doing that, there was a Creature Features movie premiere that they were doing. I was like, what? It's definitely a little different than, my childhood one. There's not a whole lot of, it's more sci-fi than um, stupid monster movie. David has never seen Red Dwarf either. Oh, I'm gonna have to think that one out because I don't see Lynn enjoying it. I see her sitting and rolling her eyes profusely. David, maybe you can keep him off his phone long enough to like engage in it. I think he would enjoy. I think he would like the humor. But then again, he is a younger version of your dad. Hey Anthony, where would you say would be my best place to look for an adapter? I bought a microphone and the receiver is too big to plug into my computer, so I have to get the adapter to make it go from a 1/4 inch male into a 1/8 inch male to plug into my computer. We looked at Target. The ones I ordered from Amazon were incorrect. So I have to send them back and I can't order the correct ones through Amazon. But I'm trying to figure out if there's somewhere locally I can look to just go buy them so I don't have to wait yet again for shipping. I called Best Buy and Circuit City, and they both said they didn't carry them. So my other thought was maybe Ted Brown Music. But can you think of any other place that might be a good option for me to call tomorrow? I don't know how your husband has hung around with my husband and he's never seen Red Dwarf. I got somebody hanging out in the bushes. I wonder who it is. Come out and say hi. Come out, whoever you are. It's gonna go from a 6.35 to a 3.5, I think is what it is. Yeah, I was thinking Stereo Shop. Yeah, Best Buy said that they didn't carry anything like that, which blew my mind. That was what I meant when I said Circuit City. Yeah, I was telling Sis, I don't know if we have um like a karaoke store here. I've never looked, but I was also thinking that might be an option. funny, that made a good click sound and there was nothing to click because the diamond fell off back into the tray. Yeah, like I said, I've got it on I've got the right one in my shopping cart on Amazon. But if I order it through Amazon, then it won't get here until the 2nd. So if I could find it locally, I'd rather just do it that way so I don't have to wait yet again. Because I've now had my microphone for over a week and I still can't use it because I'm having all these stupid receiver problems and adapter problems. And I never really never really thought about it until it was brought to my attention how crackly my laptop sounds. So now I'm like super hyper aware about it. DAC, what's that? Oh. I think my phone just died. Find my plug. Oh, come on. Try to do this without dumping my stuff everywhere. Let go of my cord. Stuck on the foot of my easel. Oh yeah, see, my phone's off. Didn't give me any warnings or nothing. Thanks. I just gotta wait for my phone to charge a little bit. Digital analog converter. Okay. So maybe if I do find somebody that's got something they think might work, maybe take my microphone with me. Got a couple other people hanging out in the bushes. Welcome, welcome, welcome to those that don't want to come in and chat, but want to hang out and watch. My phone just died, so as soon as I get it powered back up, I'll get it back pointing at my diamond painting. I didn't even get my 15% warning that it was about to die on me. Okay. What I've discovered through all of this is that I really don't know squat about electronics. I feel like I guess like the post on my Instagram, don't be afraid to mess up something new. So it's kind of where I'm at right now. I bought a year of StreamYard, so now I got to figure out how to do overlays and backgrounds, which I'll probably, maybe I'll try doing this weekend, since I don't usually stream on the weekends anyway. Unless it's, a random last minute decision. Well, here's the thing. When I first started looking for a microphone, I typed in Bluetooth microphones. And that was what I was searching for. And then in true fashion, search fashion, it started putting other things into my search engine that was not Bluetooth, and I didn't realize it. Um, and so when it switched from going, um, when it switched from Bluetooth microphones to wireless microphones, I didn't realize it. And so what I ended up buying was a wireless microphone. Um, so it's got a receiver. I'll just show you. Maybe. Oh, it's still out on my computer desk. Computer desk. This is not a computer desk. This is a 6-foot table. So it's got this receiver. And again, I didn't mirror my camera, so I got to figure out where I'm at. Nope. Up. Crap. Okay. Pause. Lift. So it's got this receiver thingy that plugs into the laptop. So this is the 6.35 millimeter. Obviously way too fat to plug into a laptop. So it's all charged and ready to go. I just can't plug it into my damn computer. And here's the microphone that I bought. It is, I don't know what all those numbers mean. It says UHFCH168. I'm assuming that's, I would say channels, but I don't know. And then 647.60. But yeah, I gotta get this stupid thing plugged into my laptop. I hate that when you're searching, when you specifically search for something and then it changes it and starts putting stuff up that doesn't meet your criteria and you don't realize it. So I ended up with the wrong light bulbs for my dragon cages too, because I typed in 100-watt halogen bulbs, and then when I found ones that met the measurement specifications of my lamp, I ordered them. Got them in the mail and they were LED. So yeah, I'm stuck. So now I'm got these 100-watt LED lights, and I'm like, oh, what the hell am I supposed to do with these? Yeah, one of the crafters that I follow, she uses one that clips onto her shirt, and she's got like a massive cord to it. So she gets up and walks around her craft room with her mic on, and it's kind of comical sometimes because she gets tangled up in it. Oh, the LEDs. Well, yeah, I don't know. He is converting. We're in the process of converting all the lights over into LEDs, but they're like little bulbs, like what you would screw into a lamp. You know, they're maybe this big. Yeah, my poor dragons. We've had so much issues with damn lighting. And people around here would stop hitting power poles and knocking our power out. It would stop blowing my light bulbs. And stop resetting my timer. Yeah, I mean we'll find something. Oh, in the fridge. Maybe. We'll find something to do with them. By the time I thought about doing a refund and sending them back to Amazon, it was already past the return date. So I'm kind of stuck with them. Those boogers were expensive too. They were like $10 a bulb. Talk about highway robbery. It's like, do they run on gas or what? So has Lynn delved into any of the plastic canvas books she took home with her? Ah, crochet toys. She make them for the pups? So your sister's making take some ideas. That's funny. I was just getting ready to say, sis is making catnip filled toys for where David works. And so his boss buys them from her and then sells them at the store. Well, I was gonna try to grab. Let's see. I was gonna try to drop your guys' links. Give me a minute. I gotta go grab them. I don't know how mods do that so easy in some of those other chats. Subscriptions. Duh. And Anthony, do you have a second one for the 208 concepts? Put a couple of them on the website, but that's a tricky game to play. Yeah. And then Miss Mimi. Damn, your channel name is long. And then Control V. Crochet catnip toys. Boop. Ta-da! I had to figure out. So on your guys' end, does it show as a hyperlink? So on your 208 concepts, you're just doing like your machining stuff for right now. And see, it's so tricky because, you know, on StreamYard, you see like just plain text. So like Sam is modded in here, but it doesn't show her as blue on my side. On StreamYard, I'd have to go onto YouTube to see that she's blue. So I'm like, okay, well, so when I copy and paste, is it doing a plain text or is it actually giving a hyperlink? Good to know. See, now that I have unlimited, your phone went all kinds of stupid. Well, you know, mine already did too. So, but now I would say now that I have a subscription to StreamYard, I can do all kinds of random streams. And I don't have to worry about running out of time. A sublimit for a custom URL. I missed everything after Sam saying that her phone went all kinds of stupid. I don't have a. Let's see. Shorten channel links to something recognizable. Don't have a custom. It's hella long. Sublimit for custom. I don't know who your third person is either. Hmm. 100 subs and 30 days old in order to have a custom URL. Well, yeah, we'll see. Given the fallout of the last couple days, I fully expect to see my sub count drop a little bit, because that's how YouTube communities roll. But whatever. I'm cool with that. Whatever happens, happens. I said my piece and I walked away, and the people that can't handle that need to look at themselves and figure out why they're so butthurt about it. Maybe, but Anthony just said that he subbed. I'm kind of jelly. I want a community tab so bad, because I'm every day I'm like, oh, if only I had a community tab. If I had a community tab, I could do this. And I personally don't see a whole lot more growth happening with this channel until there's some recognition outside this current community that I'm in. And Sophie's been giving me some tips and tricks on how to make that happen, using hashtags and that kind of stuff. I've made a point to log in under this account when I'm going to other communities, so that this is the name people see versus the Out of Spoons. You got I'm the closest. Yeah, like 3 million. I just forgot the zeros. That's crazy. Some of the people that I've started following, like one guy has 224K. Yeah, you're gonna have to help me with that promoting thing. And I know when in Czech was here, I forget which stream it was. I think it was diamond painting last week. I was like, oh yeah, I'll let my crafty friends know. Hopefully those crafty friends are outside this community. But yeah, and I've struggled a little, not really emotionally. It's not even, I don't know. I don't know what function it is. But I've seen channels that started after me but they're drama channels and are already monetized. And I'm like, it's just frustrating for me because, you know, I get it, drama sells, but damn. Yeah, the one guy that's got the 224, I just rolled into his channel last night or the night before. 24 robbers came knocking at the door. And I was like, hey, you know, and you have to sub in order to comment. So I subbed and I said, hey, I'm new here, checking out the channel. And so he kind of gave me a brief rundown. He's like, I don't really have a, it's kind of eclectic, kind of like mine is, I guess. And then he's not like a dedicated genre. Yeah, but a channel that puts in work can't make it past 1,000. Exactly. That's kind of how I feel. I've been at 80 for a week. And before that, I sat at 76 for a week. And I'm like, why are people outside this community not finding my channel? And I can't figure that out. Exactly. Get there eventually. It's off-putting subs go up for others that don't deserve it. Yeah. But yeah, this guy, I don't know what he normally does. He kind of has a schedule, a random schedule, like I do. I know he said tomorrow was Whiskey Wednesday, and he goes, and we're going to need it. So I'm not sure what Whiskey Wednesday is. And then Thursdays he does mental health. So I'm gonna catch him Thursday night. Definitely tomorrow. See what Whiskey Wednesday is about. I will not hesitate to make myself a drink and have one with him. You've gained one this week. It might have been me, actually. I was going down my subs, and I'm like, how did I not sub to his channel? Yeah, you're kind of in a limited space too. Until you get moved out to the garage, and then you'll have a lot of space. And peace and quiet. Minnie will be inside. Mom, 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 mom. Where's mom? Where's mom? Oops. A full-time job is what slows my video project. Yeah. Well, like I said, my intention, so that I don't have to do what I just had to do to get your links, is I'm going to copy yours and your sister's links onto like a Word document, so that I can just pull it up on my desktop and do a copy paste. And I think that'll be easier than having to open up a tab with YouTube. But to the best of my knowledge, I don't have a whole lot of car people following me right now. But I will definitely keep or start and keep plugging it. Yeah, doing the downstairs. Well, that's why I'm in my craft room, because ironically enough, it has the best Wi-Fi, and it still sometimes is uber stupid. And I'm not a car person, but I liked watching that machining video. Even though my first thought was, where the hell are your safety goggles? So I went to your comment section and asked that question, and then when I went back to the video, we're coming back on and going, I forgot my goggles. Like, see, he knew his mom was about to yell at him. I am always in your head. I know. It was just kind of funny, just the way it timed out, because I literally jumped out of the video to go put it in the comments, and when I jumped back in the video, you would come back. So one thing I forgot. It's kind of made me giggle a little bit. And so not being quite so wrapped up in all of the YouTube drama, like I was saying yesterday or this morning, might have been this morning, I don't remember now, has freed up a lot of time for me to play and post on my Instagram a little bit more. Still learning how that, I haven't had an Instagram for very long either, so I'm still figuring out how that works. Dang it. I just flung diamonds everywhere. Yeah. I guess that's one benefit to doing doing videos like that, though, is that, as long as you're open to that feedback. No, playing with my, yeah. See, I want my diamond painting one to be bigger, not me be bigger. Oh well. Wait, you're starting 2 other channels? Yeah, and that's what what I'm trying to do right now. Well, I'm doing what I do on my Facebook anyway, which is to do, I post, quotes and sayings and memes and that kind of stuff. The mini critters and gaming. Oh, gotcha. I knew we had talked about the mini critters one. But I'm trying to get better at posting on my IG and on my TikTok when I'm going to do a live, when I've got them scheduled ahead of time. just because I know YouTube's notifications are stupid and sometimes they don't work. I've got people that follow me on IG that don't follow me anywhere else on YouTube and all, so just to get it posted on as many platforms as possible so that the word kind of spreads. Mini games. Well, there is a YouTube channel. Literally what you're doing is you're watching people make miniature food on miniature appliances, and it's kind of cute. But it's a tiny itty bitty little stove and a tiny itty bitty little spatula and tiny itty bitty littles, and then they make tiny itty bitty little food. Yeah. Yeah, I think I do too. But yeah, I've got people that follow me on TikTok that are not on my IG and vice versa. So if I post on both platforms as well as my Facebook when I have a scheduled live, then hopefully it'll extend that reach into other communities and other realms. I know there's many food channels. Don't ask me. I don't know why I like them as much as I do, but and there's a channel where this guy sets up a dining table for his mouse. So he dresses his mouse up in a costume and he makes, does a table with a little candelabra and, fine dining table to serve him his meal. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Your sister would agree with you. She doesn't do ASMR either. I don't find them relaxing. I understand it from a psychological standpoint, because again, training, but it doesn't do for me what it's supposed to do. And I wonder if that's because there's ADHD in play. Because I even struggle with like EMDR concepts because I can't focus. Can't focus long enough to relax. Not having not having internal imagery doesn't help either. So trying to learn how to meditate without a third eye has been a little bit of an interesting adventure. So Anthony, do you know how to add channels? So like when you go on your YouTube, across the top, there's the home videos playlist up where your community tab will be. There's a tab there for channels, but there's no way to like add channels to it.
Do you know how that works? Misophonia, yeah. Frisian! Because that would be ideal, to be able to just add your guys' channels onto my recommended channel list. But then again, I don't know if that's part of, I don't know if that's a perk with monetization or what, but it doesn't seem like that would make sense because, you don't have a community tab until you're eligible to have a community tab. So why would you have a shared channel tab if you couldn't share channels? Yours is populated with channels that you sub to? Yeah, mine is empty. And I'm subbed to all kinds of different channels. Weird. Yeah, I do know two people that would normally be in here this late at night or early in the morning, that I have the feeling are not coming in simply because they're feeling some type of loyalty to somebody else. But in all honesty, if those are not the kind of friends I want anyway, and it's not the kind of subs I want, following me, come here because you like me, not because you don't like somebody else, or I don't know. Again, it's friggin' elementary school behavior. Frisian and Misophonia are linked in any way. Can you have one without the other, or are they always hand in hand? Uh, maybe. I'll have to look. Frisian and Misophonia are linked in any way. Can you have one without the other? I don't know. Fall down a YouTube rabbit hole and find out. I got enough rabbit holes I got to jump into. Whoa, what is my camera doing? So as you can see, Sam, I am working on a flat surface. It's killing my neck a little bit. But I think if I figure out how to sit properly in this position, it'll work out better for me. But I'm trying to get into practice and having to do this for a while, doing it in this position.
Oh, by the way, Anthony, guess who gets to have surgery on their hand? Both physical reactions to sound. One activates the reward brain and one activates the throat punch brain. Kyle Hill, is this in reference to what your sister's talking about? The misophonia and frisson? Yeah, I had my follow-up today, and it was funny because when Caleb walked into the exam room, I had my phone in my right hand, and I was, with my thumb scrolling through stuff, and he just looked at me and kind of shook his head, and I go, "What?" And he goes, "Looking at your test results, I have no idea how you can hold anything in your hand." And I go, "That bad, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah, 7% conduction is making it through my wrist into my hand. 7%. So there you go, Sam. Kyle Hill. Random topics based on science. I'm down to 1% in the 1%. So did I lose one of you? That's funny. Yeah, 7% is all when they shot the electricity from my elbow down to my fingers. Only 7% of it actually made it into my hand. And he's like, "I don't know how you hold anything in that hand." And I go, "I don't lose the ability to use it. It just goes numb, and then I have to stop and shake it out and get the feeling back. But I've never just randomly dropped stuff." I go, "But I can't." I go, I don't trust holding anything heavy in that hand. Um, but I've never really had a case of the dropsies with it. And he goes, I don't know how." And I just kind of looked at him and said, "Because you don't know me that well yet." If it's going to be abnormal, it's going to be in my chart. Trust me. If you ever have a thought in your head that this is not right, this isn't how this is supposed to work, you're going to be writing it in my chart. But yeah, the good news is that there's no nerve pinched from my neck. So no surgery for my neck just yet. But they are scheduling me to do the diagnostic for the radio frequency ablation like I have on my back, but to do that on my neck. To be nice. I miss being able to turn my head fully to one side. I'm tired of my neck hurting all the time. I'm tired of having headaches all the time. Rabbit hole. Plainly difficult. Yeah, I was talking to one of the people that messaged me today in private. We were kind of talking about the carpal tunnel, and she was thinking that that's not that she doesn't have carpal tunnel because she doesn't have numbness, she has pain. And I was like, a year ago, I had pain. It hurt all the time. It was waking me up in the middle of the night with my hands hurting. And I think it's progressed far enough that it's pinching off enough nerve response that I don't feel the pain anymore. I'm like, because I cross stitch and I stab my hand with a needle and I don't feel, like I can pinch. Oh, let me take your comment off. So if I go on this side, so left hand, I can pinch and I can feel it and it hurts. And I can do a palm, it hurts. The top of my hand, it hurts. Up in the, but on my right hand, I can pinch as hard as I can, and I can feel pressure, but I don't feel any pain from pinching my skin. And I don't know if you can tell, you can see how hard I was pinching here. You can see the dents on my finger, maybe. There. You can see how hard I was pinching that. I can feel the pressure of me pinching it, but I don't feel the pain of it. So just because you're feeling pain and not numb, I would definitely not assume that it's not carpal tunnel. Stupid purple feather just flew at my nose. A bingo feather. Yeah, I would guess that you probably have carpal tunnel as well. I'd be curious if there's like a genetic component to that. I mean, not that. I mean, I realize that carpal tunnel is caused from repetitive motion, but I wonder if there's a genetic predisposition factor. Yeah, you do randomly drop stuff, sis, but I also wonder how much of that has to do with the neurological problem or disorder, syndrome, whatever you want to call it, whatever it's called. That's why I have plastic cups. That was the one I meant to say. That's why we have plastic cups. Well, I was sitting here doing this after my stream this morning. You can see how full this little puppy is, right? Maybe. Take the comment off. You can see how full this thing is. And I popped the lid and I went to pour it into the tray, and all of a sudden my hand went, and I hit the tray on this and knocked this completely out of my hand. Unfortunately, most of it landed on my light board, but I'm like, okay, that was not cool. Right. But I'm talking about the other stuff that we think was associated to the serotonin stuff. Because I don't care what they say, there's no way that you could have been running a fever as high as you were and it not cause some sort of neurological damage. You don't run 106-degree fever and lose consciousness and not have it affect your brain somehow. Yeah, the brain fry. The doctors keep saying that there's nothing to that, and half the doctors are like serotonin syndrome doesn't exist, and all that fun happy horse shit that we've had to go through with all of that. But nobody will be able to convince me that there wasn't some sort of long-term impact of that fever and that sickness. And I'm not thoroughly convinced that the hypertension's not directly related either. Because if memory served, that's really where all of that, started, in having the chronic headaches and losing function in your hands and, that kind of stuff all started after the serotonin poisoning. That would be an interesting topic to discuss on a live. I don't know how much of it you remember, though. Exactly, the ice pick headaches and the dizzy spells. That, the doctors are like, well, we don't know. I don't know what's causing that. Stupid doctors. I lose more and more faith in doctors each day that passes. I love my ortho guy. I mean, he's super awesome, and he listens, and he's not let's just immediately do, let's jump and do the most invasive thing, and like the most expensive. He's like, okay, well, let's try this first, and if that doesn't work, we'll do this, and then if that doesn't work, we'll do that. That's why I was doing the yeah, because you were pretty much unconscious after that. I could definitely pull some data off the interwebs. I definitely think that is an important topic, because not a lot of people even know that exists. Think about, even in your own life, when you've mentioned it, people are like, what? What is that? And how many times you've actually had medical doctors question it and tell you that it doesn't exist. That's not a real thing. Yeah, or drug pushers. Although at this point right now, I'm wishing that I could get something, because this over-the-counter crap is not helping. I need something. I mean, I don't want to be on like narcs, but I need some sort of anti-inflammatory that's not not over the counter, because I can't keep taking 3 Aleve every couple hours because I'm ended up killing my damn kidney. Yeah, denied its existence because she'd never heard of it. Yeah. Well, even the night it happened, we're arguing with the ER doctor about what it was. And he's like, no, it's bronchitis. It's strep throat. And I'm like, here's the paperwork for her new medication. Go down the checklist. Everything that's on this checklist she's experiencing right now. This is not strep throat. Yes, it is. Here's an antibiotic. Which you then had an allergic reaction to. And then had an allergic reaction to the Benadryl. That was not a fun weekend. Yeah. Yep. Too many increases too rapidly. Interesting. Elevators make my head all wishy-washy too. But I think that might be my vertigo. Yeah, we totally could have sued the hospital. You're in there with 106-degree fever, and I'm having to beg them to get you some ice chips because you're dehydrated. They're like, oh, she's so dehydrated, we can't even get an IV in her. But then they won't give you any ice chips. Albert Einstein jerkhole. Yep. I don't know. I'll have to check into that, Anthony. You guys are a wealth of knowledge. So, Sam, have you given any more thought to how I should arrange for my presentation on Friday? Like, should I do them as individual datas, or figure out how to put them into a table of comparison? I don't know what to call it. Of course, then I have to figure out how to get it onto my... Oh, actually, if I do it onto my laptop, I won't have to worry about it. Duh. Just have to figure out how to get it from my phone to my laptop. I guess if I do it on my laptop, I don't have to worry about transferring it. Yeah. Because I have the 3 different, I've got my DNA intolerances, I've got my salicylate intolerances, and then my histamine intolerances that all need to be taken into consideration every time I go to eat. Because while something may be salicylate free, it may still be high histamine, so I still can't eat it. So I can't fathom another way to like explain that without having a chart of some sort to explain it. Like a bubbler in a fish tank. Yeah. I don't know. I can't conceptualize how to put that into a Venn diagram. If I'm going to do it this Friday, I really need to get started on it, don't I? This Friday's going to be here before we know it. So, Anthony, what kind of stuff do you think would be interesting to learn about? Either from a medical or a mental health standpoint. Table them bitches. Yeah, because I'm thinking like a 4-column table. So on the furthest left is the item. So like say broccoli. And then my columns would be salicylate, histamine, and then DNA intolerant. I don't know how else to call that because it's not an allergy. It's just I tested negative for all allergies. But general intolerances, DNA intolerant, I don't know how to label that one. But then I can put, like broccoli, put an X in each column that it applies. And then there's a visual. If it's in all 3 columns, then it's an absolute no. Don't touch that food. My last comment already. I don't know why. I've been on for almost 2.5 hours, and now my computer wants to like send me email updates. Overindulge in information when I find a subject interesting. Yes. Desire for knowledge. So this virulent strep. Yes, and that I'm always wanting to learn stuff. I don't want to talk about anxiety anymore. The last thing that I expected to happen yesterday was to have a meltdown on a live stream. While talking about anxiety, no less. I'm also kind of trying to figure out something that's kind of uniquely me. So after the intro plays, the first things that I say. and and a closing statement at the end of each stream. P's and Q's, reminding you to mind your P's and Q's. I don't know. Neurospicy. Yeah, depression would be a good one. And depression typically goes with anxiety. Like even in the diagnostic realm, a lot of times they're diagnosed together. I don't have to shut up. It's my channel. I just don't know if I can handle doing depression right now, to be honest. I mean, it would be another one of those ones where it would be a total raw stream, because it is, it is a current battle. Trauma bonding. I would definitely have to do some research there, just to make sure that I'm providing clinically sound information. Stages of childhood development, like Erikson's stages of development. I mean, that's one of my passions, one of my loves. I love Erikson's stuff. Would kind of wrap up in there too. Wish there was a science behind name calling. There was a clinical definition or diagnostic criteria that identifies why people feel the need to call other people childish names, especially when there's especially in a disagreement. It's like, really? Again, it's like elementary school. Yeah, seasonal depression that happens every season. Mental abuse and gaslighting. Yeah, that gaslighting, it's such a hot button for me because I feel that word is so overused and misused. It's called being a shithead. Exactly. Being that I've worked with them in, closely with the mental health field, I know what gaslighting is. And so I get triggered and frustrated and angry at the people that throw that word out there. And it's like, do you realize that it's not gaslighting? Now, is there some gaslighting that happens on YouTube? Absolutely. But, people sitting in chat, riling them up and, egging on bad behavior isn't gaslighting. Gaslighting is designed to make the other person feel like they are going crazy. Period. So it really annoys me at how much that word is thrown around, especially on YouTube. That could fall under narcissism, probably, looking at it that way. Lowering the person in order to establish a superior sense of self. Recognizing and coping with triggers and how triggers. Yeah, this is another big one on YouTube. My triggers are not your responsibility. And it's not my responsibility to dance on eggshells around yours. That drives me crazy. You make me feel such. You make me feel this way. No. Nobody can make you feel a certain way. You allow yourself to feel a certain way as a response to. Yeah, triggers are definitely a big one. And again, that's one of those buzzwords that's thrown around and misused a lot. But yeah, I don't spend a whole lot of time on TikTok. Literally the only reason I even have a TikTok was to make communication with somebody. Well, you were there Easter Sunday, to have my quote unquote spiritual reading. And the only way that she communicates is through TikTok. But that's the only reason I have one. And then I just kind of kept it up after that. Deleted her from my TikTok. But it's still up and running. I don't use it very often. I've liked a lot of pages. I don't know, are they even called pages on TikTok? And I've got some people that follow me now, but I'm like, yeah, I don't really post there. I think I've posted a couple of videos of the dragons. And I know I've posted some notices of these live streams a couple times, but that's about it. I do agree to a degree. It is their responsibility to know your triggers so they don't use them against you. But at the same time, it is also not their responsibility to control your triggers. If that makes sense. Like, they shouldn't have to change who they are as a person in order to not trigger their loved one. But using those triggers intentionally to cause harm, yeah, I agree. Exactly. Next comment. To either purposely trigger you or work around them. Yep. I agree. I didn't realize that you were still friends with Catherine. I was on one of those rare occasions. I was actually on Facebook. I'm hardly ever on Facebook anymore. It seems, um, but she came across as one of those people you might know, and so I clicked on her profile. I didn't realize that she was into the witchy stuff too. Although now that I think about it, that's probably why she showed up on my people you might know or recommended people or whatever, because she's linked to somebody on my friends list. Huh. See? And literally what I remember of Catherine was just, those couple years at fair. And I talked to Sam before I started this whole thing about whether she would be willing to come up on panel to talk about, Wiccan and stuff like that. So yeah, it would be cool if I could get, like Amy on board and Catherine, and just have a whole panel of practicing witches to come talk about their faith, their beliefs. But I don't even know what to call it. Well, we have the renegade Wiccan, we have the chaos witch, and I don't know what Catherine identifies herself as. So it could make for a very spicy conversation. Yeah, the neurospices. I think that would be a really cool panel, actually, if I could get everybody on board. And I know Amy identifies as Wiccan. Is that what Catherine is as well? Is she Wiccan? I wouldn't doubt it. I think another person that would be cool, and Sam, I don't know if you still have contact, would be to have a discussion about being gluten intolerant and how to work around that when you are in a communal setting like at Job Corps and working as a chef, being gluten intolerant, how that affects livelihood, and function and stuff. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. I don't want to say her name for obvious reasons. Basically, the Christian without a church. Yeah, I don't do organized religion at all. Yeah, exactly. And Amy, I mean, I know she's got an intolerance versus like a full on like it'll kill me. Sam's friend, it's like it's fatal. It can be fatal for her. Um, but yeah, and I think once get on schedule and have the mental health Mondays and the physiology Fridays, having those being more open panel versus me reading criteria out of the DSM, I think that also will bring in a, a more eclectic audience, hopefully. Lots of people gatekeep what you can and can't do as a Wiccan, and I'm not on board with that. Yeah, I never really gave much thought to Wiccan being organized. Never really thought about it as an organized religion, but I guess, yeah, it is by definition. I really should have a notebook writing all this stuff down as I sit in a room full of paper. Yeah, I would agree. Generally speaking, whenever anybody has the control, it doesn't usually end well. God, I can't believe I've only got this much left on this panel. Then I can move on to the big one. Yeah, see, and I think that's where the difference is. Sam, your friend, has celiac disease, whereas I believe Amy is gluten intolerant. So it makes her sick, but it's not deadly. Whereas celiac disease actually eats holes in your intestines and can be fatal. I don't know about that one. Might be a little too political. Llama buddy. Llama buddy. I'm trying to think who you're referring to. Oh, okay. I'm like, llama buddy. I'm thinking 4-H. I'm like, we don't associate with them. Oh, gotcha. Well, this in general, non POC speaking about POC anything, um, is, yeah. Okay. Make llama cupcakes. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I was sitting there thinking 4-H. I'm like, I have communication with those kids, but none of them are celiac. What are you talking about? I definitely don't have any communication with their mother, their egg donors. Huh. Well, they can piss off because you are Irish. You're Irish and English, so, and Scandinavian. So you can peace off. And little Minnie looks absolutely adorable in her warrior braids when she sits still long enough to let you do it. We have the DNA test to prove that you are. And I'm contemplating doing an ancestry to compare to my 23andMe. Um, just because I've talked to a lot of people that are kind of having the same experience that I had, and that their whole life, and well, and your dad as well, whole life had been told, that there was Indian in us, and then our 23andMe's came back, and neither one of us have a stitch of Indian, Native American. I guess I need to be PC there. Neither one of us have Native American, according to 23andMe. But my aunt, my biological aunt, my dad's mom, just did an ancestry, and hers has all kinds of stuff in it that mine doesn't. And I'm like, how is that possible? We are blood relatives. So now I want to do 23andMe so I can compare. I mean, do ancestry so that I can compare the two because I'm curious. Morning, Sophie. Yeah, we're mostly Eastern European. So English, Irish, um, Scandinavian. There's like 0.03% other, which was like Norwegian, and Spaniards might be included in that. I can't remember. Hey, Sophie, I got a message from a friend of yours. Do a stream about spitting and biles. Maybe if the first one comes back like my 23andMe did and telling me that I didn't have enough DNA in my spit to run the test. I'm like, how the hell is that even possible? But it would be interesting to do a stream comparing, the two results. Your little curry, little curry potato. Yeah, hers would be interesting just because, you know, David's ancestry is so diverse. Not if she says it. Hmm. So what are you up to this morning, Sophie? So 2, 3, 4. So 5:30. You're probably getting your hubby off to work. Of course. Yeah, she messaged me, and I'm like, oh, thanks for subbing. It was kind of nice. I actually got 3 random messages yesterday. Um, so 2 people that are, well, one that's hiding in the bushes, because doesn't want the creator that she follows to know that she's watching me. Um, and your friend, and then a third person, which I thought was a nice conversation, but I got a message from somebody else that was kind of snarky. Um, so I'm wondering, I'm now skeptical that one of those conversations I had was not kept private. Yeah, I was like looking at the time on my 5:30. Yeah, she's probably getting hubby off to work. Well, and when you look at Lynn, you can see some of that. She's got some of the features that would be characteristic of a Native American. I can see it in her. Yeah, it's just hard because the community that, well, and Sophie knows where I'm at, because she's stepping away from the same community that I am, or trying to step away to the best, if I am speaking correctly, hopefully. Um, the entire community is very toxic. So, um, yeah, yeah, it would be interesting to do an DNA testing on them. Well, and that's the funny thing, Sophie, is that as far as I mean, I went back and read, and I could be reading more into it. Just the timing of it seemed really weird, how it all went down. Um, and I went back and read the messages, and I'm like, why would this other person read so much into what was said? And then I had to stop and go, oh, okay, who is that person? That's why so much was read into it. But I didn't say anything bad from my perspective. It was just, why I was leaving the community. And I said why I was leaving the community. And then suddenly I'm getting other messages calling me some stuff. So I'm like, well, whatever. So you're from the Isles, Irish, Scottish, and a little bit of English. Italian or Irish, yep. Yeah. So you're trying to leave the entire community as well? Am I reading that correctly? Yeah, read into it and twist it to make you look bad. Yeah. Yeah, my response to the text messages I was getting was just as I just said whatever. And I left it at that because I'm like, it literally is just a whatever. Um, yes, Anthony, I would say this is partly it. Um, it also comes from the fact that you come from a long line of alcoholics. So you guys are biologically pre-programmed to tolerate it. Myself as well. Yeah, I agree. And now I'm catching flack for stepping away. I'm like, that's what I said. My response is just gonna be whatever. You do you. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna sit over here in my own lane, and you can stay subscribed to my channel and hate watch, or you can unsubscribe. It don't matter to me. So what do you mean your tolerance shot up because you've been drinking more water? That seems backwards to me. It seems like your tolerance would decrease. Yeah, your tolerance would go down because you're drinking less alcohol than normal. And yet, you too, and your brother, and my nieces, and my nephews, all have, all been raised to know that that is our lineage. Our bloodline for many, many generations have all been alcoholics. And so, I mean, it's a scary game to play because we are predispositioned to tolerate it in high, high, high levels. I haven't even been there. In fact, the only stream I've seen since over there, since the big hullabaloo, um, was I watched part of Muzz's stream the other day, and it was only because she was talking about me and one of my IG posts and some BS that happened with that. Um, so I listened to that part of her live, and then I left again. Yeah, that is our biology. Um, New Year's 20 coming into 2020, I'd heart, you guys know me. If I drink, it's like, I might have a margarita with dinner, or I might have a hard lemonade. I don't drink, and I don't get drunk. I might get a little buzz on every now and again, but I don't ever get drunk. Well, New Year's going into 2020, I don't know how I didn't end up in the hospital because I drank an entire bottle of Jack Daniels by myself, and I had not drank in a decade. I should have been in the hospital with alcohol poisoning or dead. I was full blackout. I don't remember anything from the night before. But I was in full blackout. I took myself to bed. You know, I don't know how I didn't throw up that night. And, but it was a not so gentle reminder of this. That we are predisposed for that. That is our biology. Yeah, no kidding. We've got an Irish and Scottish background. It's probably it's probably a good guess that your DNA says alcohol is our jam. Yeah, I grew up with both of my parents were alcoholics. Um, so I grew up in it. And then growing up, out of my three sisters that I grew up with, all three of them fell into addiction. All three of them fell into alcoholism. Even my half sister that was given up at birth, and we just met her maybe 20 years ago, grew up just like us. She was the only one in her family that developed an addiction. And it's like, that's our biology. That is our biology. It would be great if we could say that biology was the answer, and it was the cure to addiction. But we know it's not. It's not just biology, but biology does play a big role. I, I do remember that. I remember the first trip out to the hot tub, sitting out there with you guys. I don't remember going out the second time. I don't remember getting locked out of the house by the screen door. I don't remember spilling my drink on you or on the couch. I don't remember going to bed. But I do remember pinching your husband's butt. Yeah, Anthony, I would just say just be careful. Something like that. I know I was trying to do the math. Um, the easiest way for me to do that actually would be if I could remember what year my egg donor died, but I don't care to remember that. So, because we met Megan 2 years before that, and I think it was the year after you had the spider bite on your leg, or it was that summer, maybe. Yeah, my mother was a piece of work. That's why I call her my egg donor. Oh, that's interesting. See, another rabbit hole to go down. My husband has blue eyes, but I think, see, we've had this discussion before. I, who of my kids, are you guys all green eyes? And that's sad. I don't even know my kids' eye colors. Green and hazel. Stevens are blue. Okay. I was like, no, I could have swore one of my kids had blue eyes. That's that aphantasia memory thing that eventually I'll discuss on a Friday. So, Anthony, do you happen to remember what year that was? I know we went down to California that summer because you were bummed out because you couldn't go swimming in the river. I can't remember if that was the trip where we met Megan or not. But I think it was because I remember being at the park and me and Debbie got into an argument because I made a comment about Richard's behavior in Boy Scouts, and I said something to the fact that Barry would never let you get away with something like that, and Aunt Debbie got pissed. We got into a big old argument at the park over that. I barely remember a couple weeks ago. Dude, if I remember yesterday, I'm lucky. I have to think about that. But yeah, I think that was the trip that we went to California to meet Megan, though. Their dad has blue eyes, and he doesn't go anywhere without sunglasses on. He's got really sensitive eyes too. I would love to be able to wear sunglasses, but if I take my glasses off, I can't see where the hell I'm going. Hopefully, this next go around, when I get my eyes checked again, I might just invest in the transition ones. It just sucks because this will be the fourth time I've had to get my prescription changed since I had COVID in 2020. It jacked my vision up so bad. I don't know if you were in that live, Sophie, when Brooke was talking about suddenly she was, having really bad vision problems. And I was like, when you had COVID, did it affect your eyes at all? Because it is one of the rare symptoms of COVID, apparently. Get a pair of sunglasses with a prescription. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I go. I mean, whenever I'm in anywhere, I'm usually the passenger. I don't drive very much anymore because it's very difficult for me to drive since I can't turn my head to the right. So I try not to drive as much as possible. Yeah, the macular degeneration. Sorry, I think that came from me. I don't think your dad had that on his DNA. Yeah, coming out of COVID, my poor doctor was like, well, I don't know if this is from COVID or not because there's not enough literature that says this is a symptom, but it wasn't like this before you had COVID, so it must be. We're just like, Great. I got got those rare things where, I came out of it with an inflamed kidney and toasted eyesight. Shut up. Shit, at the rate I'm going, I might be blind by the time I'm 60. Your dad needs hearing aids. Bad. If in doubt, blame COVID. Yep. I like that philosophy. If in doubt, blame COVID. Yes, I would agree. You're not quite there because at least you can still hear the person sitting right next to you. So fortunately, when this publishes, all the live chat should be there, and I can go back through and use it to make a list of subject matter to research. Blame CERN. Yep. Blame CERN. Yep. Yep. Your dad's hearing was tested by a VA doctor because he would have qualified for hearing aids paid for by the VA, but it was determined that his hearing loss was not due to his military service, at least not to a significant enough degree that they would pay for hearing aids. Had to squint so you could hear. Your pick looks like a fairy. Agent Orange is harmless. Yeah. Yeah, I would hate to, granted, if my dad was still alive, he would be getting ready to turn 90. He would be 90 in a month. So the odds that he would still be alive if he hadn't passed when he did are pretty low. But, how much would this have really come into play had he lived longer than he did? I don't know that anybody came out of Vietnam without some level of exposure to Agent Orange. You do look like that in person. What are you talking about? You're just what's the word I'm looking for? Digitized? Cartoonized? I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. I don't know. I mean, there's lots of studies that have gone into autism and ADHD, and a lot of it is pointing back to, trigger, immunizations for autism. And one of the studies showed that one of the most significant spikes in ADHD diagnoses actually came with cell phone accessibility. And like video games, and because everything is so fast paced, and then we're bombarded with blue light all the time, and so it triggers the brain to stay in that heightened state, which on one level makes sense, but then on a structural level of the brain, it doesn't make sense. Because I don't know enough about autism to know, but at least with ADHD, our brains are structurally different. It's not just a chemical imbalance or an exposure thing. Our brains are structurally different. So what caused that? So it'd be interesting. I don't know if they've ever done any studies to see if there's any linkage between Agent Orange, children of Vietnam vets, and increasing in ADHD and autism. It'd be an interesting, dive. Fluoridated water, yeah. Yeah, Sophie, I think you're very pretty. Yes. Well, and what they're talking about as far as like the overstimulation with ADHD is that it does in a way rewire the brain to operate at a faster pace. So what happens then when you don't have that stimulation? Of course, you're bored because you're not having that stimulation, and then you start doing things to occupy your time, which then appears to be ADHD, but it's not. It's not true clinical fashion ADHD. It's just the brain is not stimulated at a level that it typically is. So then, am I making any sense? Still getting that wrong. Clock's ticking on that live. Yeah. Whoops, this is what I meant to click on. Well, and that's the thing, is that ADHD is the nation's highest misdiagnosed mental health disorder in the United States. And the reason that is because the diagnosis, the testing, doesn't happen until the child starts school. So you take a child that is in a non-structured home, having all the stimulus that they want at their own beck and call, no need to sit still, no need to stay focused, and then you put them in a structured environment and suddenly expect them to sit still, pay attention, do your work, listen to the teacher, don't fidget. And when they can't do that, they're ADHD. Not necessarily. Maybe they're just bored. So yeah, it is the highest. It is the most misdiagnosed disorder in America. Because my brain's broken. Go to bed. Gonna take that live countdown down. Did I miss something about a live countdown? What did I miss? Did you have a live scheduled for now or something? When I was at my appointment this morning, I was like just zombied out, and I was telling him, I'm like, I'm stuck in this insomnia pattern that I haven't. It's been decades since I've had this much trouble sleeping, and she looks at me and she goes, because they know I have ADHD, and she's like, "Coffee's not helping." I said, "Not even coffee is helping." Oh, the cooking live. Yeah, back on the 15th. That was before that was before the bomb dropped. The first bomb dropped. Um, but then also I think that was right when your computer broke, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because that was scheduled for just days. I mean, it was like just days before that one was scheduled. World War III started, and now I think we got a couple extra battles going on within the war. A couple other countries are now warring within the big war. Yeah, she was going to teach us all how to make homemade pizza. She's working on it. She's got to revamp her channel, get her computer all set up, and then she can do some stuff. Yeah, the laptop. But like you were saying, everything happens for a reason. It was a good time because unless you went back and watched everything, you missed a lot of stuff that was very, 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 very toxic. That's a question for you, Sam. Forgot to look. Yeah, I still don't really enjoy cooking all that much. I love my foodie. It's set it and forget it. Put the lid on, hit the pressure button, go back 20 minutes later, dinner's done. I'm not a big hands-on cookie. Eh. But yeah, Sam, if you could reach out to SC, I don't know if she's still a C, and see if she would be willing to come on panel and talk about celiac, working on a cruise ship with celiac, and trying to and being in, like I said, and being at Job Corps and having to figure out how to manage her own diet within a communal situation. It's one of yours. It's got a cover and some cards in it. In a doom pile. SC has the same first name as you. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong friend that worked on the cruise ship. Yeah. KB. Yeah, we'll definitely have to message because I'm drawing a blank on who KB is. KB is cruise ship girl. Oh. And KB is who you went to Job Corps with, right? I guess I just have I think I have your people mixed up. It's time for me to get a new office chair for my craft room. On a TV show on Disney? Oh, that's cool. So she would be a famous panel guest. Yeah, the other day I was like sitting sitting in here, and I leaned back to stretch out and try to pop my back, and my chair like thump to the right. So now I think it, like the spring inside it or something, popped. So now my chair leans to the right. I'm like, that's not good. It's time for me. But like I said, it's been through 3 office jobs, so there's not much cushion left to it anyway. It's long overdue for a new office chair. I haven't heard that name in a fortnight. Yeah, so that's funny. Gotcha. And when I think about Mental Health Mondays, I mean, there's lots of people that come to mind from our past that I'd be like, that would be a good subject to interview. But yeah, no. Consider a gaming chair. Yeah, you'll have to text me and let me know what what happened here. And give me more information about this. Gotcha. Imagine how you would have felt if you heard the words coming out of your mouth. That was what happened to me yesterday. Yeah, and I don't know what kind of chair I'm going to have to get because I really need something that's like a really high back that can support my neck. Because that's one of the biggest problems I have with my neck is that with the 4 discs blown out, I can only hold my head up for so long before it gets too heavy, and then I have to like rest my head on something, um, and then I end up with a headache. So whatever chair I buy, I think I need to try to find something that's got a high back to it, or there's a head support attachment or something to go along with it. Um, so that I have neck support. Is what I end up doing, like when I'm off camera like this, is, the travel pillows, like the sea pillows. I have one of those around my neck when I'm not on camera to help support the weight of my head so that my neck doesn't hurt so bad. Too short to like the chair. Maybe. There are those really cool ones that have like the rubber ball. They're meant to be like back friendly. So it's like a hard frame with a rubber ball in the center of it. But I don't know. I don't see those having enough back and neck support. I can definitely check into it. I mean, I don't know where the hell I'd find gaming chairs around here. Yeah, this is essentially kind of what I'm talking about. Hold it. Share screen. This one. Select window or screen. StreamYard. Just the ball, no chair. I'm trying to remember how I did this. Oh, no, I can't. I can't make the share screen go away. There we go. Anyway, I can't figure out how to do it. I can't remember how to do it, I should say. GameStop. I don't know if our GameStop is still open. I know there was talk of it closing down. Yeah, ask David. Go to Amazon. Yep. Like to my phone? Yeah, standing desk would be nice. Yeah, I guess I could disconnect my phone since I'm not um, doing this anymore. Just chit chatting. See, I'm still learning all these little tricks. That's right. I was just going to share just a quick picture of like what a yoga chair looked like, but just because I was being kind of a smartass. Like, oh look, I know how to do this. But on Facebook, Cal, I'll check it. Swap the ice packs for the baby Lottles. She's raising baby oxalotls. Is that how you say that? Axolotl. No, I was just gonna do a share screen. Like I Googled real quick a yoga ball chair. And I was just gonna share the screen. But it was sharing all kinds of weird things, and they're still gonna allow StreamYard to share your screen up on top, but it won't let me close it. So I'm like, yeah. Like whatever. But my computer's stupid and it does whatever it wants sometimes. If you have a girl, name it Lizzie Borden. It took me a minute. Dinner bone. Oh, my goodness gracious. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I did a stream before where I shared my tabs and it was really super easy, but for some reason tonight it's doing weird stuff. Like it's only giving me the option to share StreamYard or to share my entire screen. It's not giving me the option to pick a tab. Like it did last time. I'm not sure what that's about. But I don't know. I was, like I said, I was just I was just gonna be a smart ass. Definitely things on StreamYard I still have to figure out. Like I said, since I did I bought a year on StreamYard, so now I get to do overlays and backgrounds, so I got to figure that out. Yeah. A lot of tutorials on YouTube. Okay. Good to know. Although I do kind of have to, gotta appreciate the irony of using YouTube to figure out how to create stuff for the YouTube channel. Got some irony there. Ah, a link for gaming chairs. Thank ya. All right, Sophie, enjoy your shower. But it is 3:30 here. I've been on here for holy crap, 3 hours and almost 45 minutes. So I should probably actually get off here, even though, hello, darkness, my old friend. Like to speak to you again. Yeah, song lyrics. That's a big old. Sorry, I while I was filming the diamond painting, I got a text message, or I got several text messages. Right around 1 o'clock that I didn't realize. So I started to answer a text message, and I'm debating on how I want to answer it before I send it. So I was thinking. But anyway, yeah, it's 3:30 in the morning. Still wide awake. That's what I get. Fell asleep for an hour and a half. Well, the new oh my gosh, brain fart. Rob Zombie with Lily, Dracula, the vampire, Frankenstein husband, Grandpa's a vampire. Oh my god, what is that show? The Monsters. Thank you. It's the new Rob Zombie version. When Dad was in town buying dog food and milk, he came home with the new movie and put it in, and I rapidly fell asleep on the couch. And I'm like, well, considering I've been awake for like 42 hours, I needed the sleep, but unfortunately now I'm wide awake. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll fall asleep or not. But so tomorrow or later today. It's not tomorrow. Later today. Again, like I was saying earlier, is work in progress Wednesday. So I'll be starting a journal from scratch. His wife plays Lily. It's kind of cool because the actors that play Herman and the grandpa, they did an amazing job at the likenesses. Look very, very similar to the original characters. But I have no idea how the quality of the movie, because like I said, I probably fell asleep within 5 minutes of the movie starting. But that's what I get. I sat down for too long. Yes, Sherry Moon. So yeah, I mean, we have it, Sam. So I mean, you guys could always borrow it, but Anthony, you're kind of SOL unless you're gonna take a trip for a visit. But so my plan is to still go on at my normal 1 p.m. Eastern. I am not on Eastern. Pacific, 1 p.m. Pacific. Unless I actually fall asleep. But I don't know. As I still have my get the hell up or you're not getting out of bed alarms set for 9:30. Yeah, it'll probably be available on Hulu or Netflix or something pretty soon, because, you know, it's usually what happens when things don't end up in the theater and all of that. But anyway, so hopefully I catch some of you guys a little bit later. I know, Sam, you're pretty consistent, but Anthony, you'll probably be working, as my assumption. Hopefully Lynn maybe can catch a live at some point. I don't know what her work schedule is like, but yeah. So I'll catch you guys all, well, some of you, I'll catch you later this afternoon. Ta-ta for now.